morning, traders. Welcome to today's morning market call. My name is Ian Joseph, market analyst at HFM. Quick disclaimer before we do begin. The information herein is only meant for educational and informative purposes only. None of it should be construed as investment advice. Trading the financial markets do welcome to carry a degree of risk, but don't worry, I'm here to help you look at the markets the right way. We do have quite a lot of things happening in the markets right now, and we will want to digest the data, what's currently happening. But I would want to start with the pit stop tours, whereby we are currently ongoing our pit stop tours. We shall be in Kisii today at the Dallas Premier Hotel. If you have anyone or you are around Kisii, we shall be at the Dallas Premier Hotel, and then we shall be off to the Cold Springs Hotel on Homa Bay on 2nd of February. Then we are going to conclude the first segment with Migori, Kenya on 4th of February. Now,
remember those HFM events that everyone's been talking about? Yeah, the ones you said you'll attend next time? Well, hi next time. From the banks of Lake Victoria to the beautiful beaches of Mombasa, our educational events just got bigger. Better and bolder than ever, these sessions are just built for you. Whether you're getting started or you already know your pips from your profits. So, unless you like watching our highlights from your couch while everyone else levels up, maybe don't skip this one. 2026 is your year to level up and discover how Forex and cryptocurrency can work for you.
Speaking of cryptocurrency, we have seen a lot of activities happening in the markets. And looking at the economic calendar, we didn't have a lot of activity during Asian session today, but towards New York session, we do anticipate PPI numbers to come out. And this is the producer price index. We want to look at the data, especially the year-on-year release, excluding food and energy, whereby the previous number did stand at 3.0%. We are looking at inflation moving to the downside to 2.9%. Quite interesting. We do anticipate a lot of activity come New York session today. It's going to be relatively quiet. I would want to look at the commitment of traders, which shall be updated just before the markets does close. Remember, once again, today is a Friday. The markets are going to close today, and then we shall meet on Monday morning. But looking at the promotions that we do have currently ongoing, we do have the HFM loyalty program, the refer a friend, and most importantly, I would want to look at the demo contest, whereby
what if you could prove your trading skills with zero risk and real rewards? Welcome to our virtual to real demo contest, where traders compete in a risk-free demo environment, but the winners walk away with real trading capital. Every month, traders from all levels showcase their skills, climb the leaderboard, and compete for exclusive rewards, including our signature crystal obelisk and powerful trading bonuses. First place gets $500 credited. Second place gets $300 credited. Third place gets to be credited $100. This is where virtual trading meets real opportunity. Trade smart, trade discipline, and turn your demo performance into something real. Join the virtual to real demo contest today, only with HFM.
Indeed, the demo contest will begin tomorrow, come Monday, sorry, to be exact. Currently at the moment, as we have Evans Kiburi, who's up 16,000%, quite astonishing. And then Emmanuel Mwenda, 11,000. And then we have Titus Chebon, who's up 6,400. Number one, once again, is going to be credited $500. Number two will be credited $300. And number three shall be credited $100. If you missed out on this month's demo contest, next month is an opportunity also for you to capitalize on it. I can already see the comment section whereby gold did, yes, it did move aggressive yesterday, and we want to look at the information. We want to look at the data. Starting off with the stock heat map, we can see Microsoft is down almost 10% in the past 24 hours. We did see Meta improve, actually quite significant, up 10.4%, and Tesla is down 3.45%. Now, why is this happening, considering that Microsoft did have better than anticipated earnings? But Tesla, what happened to Meta? We are going to digest that information before the end of this session. I have Clinton, what happened yesterday? You got liquidated, and also Top Boy did get liquidated yesterday. Yes, yesterday was quite an active amount of money that was lost in the markets. Now, when we look at the information, yesterday, Nasdaq, the S&P 500 did have losses of 0.7 and 0.1 respectively, but the Dow Jones did show resilience and rallied up to 0.1%. Now, looking at the information, we just have come from the most recent meeting of the Fed Reserve, whereby they did decide to hold the interest rates between 350 to 375 basis points. But after the closing bell on Wednesday, Microsoft, Meta, and Tesla, all members of the Magnificent Seven group of major technological companies, they did report their earnings. And we will want to start with Apple. What did they do? Now, looking at the last fiscal year, the company posted a quarterly revenue of $143.8 billion, which is up 16% compared to the previous year. Now, the earnings per share did stand at 2.84%, which once again is up more than 19% on the year. Whereas looking at the revenue, once again, it was quite astonishing. When looking at iPhone, it had its best ever quarter, driven by unprecedented demand with all time records across geographical segments. Now, looking at how many active devices that they do have over 2.5 billion active devices, meaning that this company is really indeed putting out good products into the markets, which is a testament to incredible customer satisfaction for the best products and services in the world. Now, we did see Apple post better than anticipated earnings. Now, these exceptionally strong results generated more than $54 billion in operating cash flow, allowing them to return almost 32 billion to shareholders. These are people who have invested in the Apple stock market, and as a result, 2.5 billion devices is quite a lot. Now, looking at Microsoft. What happened to Microsoft yesterday? They did deliver good numbers, which came out at 81.3 billion, which is an increase of 17% year on year and 15% in constant currency. But the highlight was the concern about Microsoft's capital expenditures, which was 37.5 billion in quarter two, up from 26.6 billion in the prior year quarter. Now, they continue to struggle with sufficient cloud and data capacity to meet existing AI demand. Now, the management continues to balance capex spending against AI demand as it builds out of its data center infrastructure. We are looking at investors wanting more out of what is happening to Microsoft currently at the morning. Now, looking at the prices to earnings ratio, it did fall to 30, putting it in line with many of the other tech giants. And as a result, once again, we did see the stock market of Microsoft move more than 10% to the downside in the past 24 hours, whereas we did see Meta move to the upper side. Apple currently at the moment in the past 24 hours, it is up 0.72%. Now, looking at this information, what could potentially happen in the near future? We want to go over to the charts. This is where most of the money is bet in the financial markets. And if you do have any assets that you would want me to look into, kindly put it in the chat section. I'll be glad to digest it for you. I would want to start by looking at silver metal. Silver did lose quite an amazing amount of money yesterday. It is said more than $3 trillion was liquidated from the markets yesterday. $3 trillion, ladies and gentlemen, that's quite an interesting amount of money. Now, looking at this chart, in less than 90 minutes, silver moved more than 12% to the downside. Now, we could argue, considering where silver has come from ever since the year did begin to where it was yesterday, it did move an incredible 70% to the upper side. Now, whenever institutions, investors, traders do buy into the markets, they would want to take off their profits. And as a result, we do anticipate markets to move to the downside. As a result, we did see silver prices from yesterday's highs to where we are currently trading at the moment. Silver is down 13%. Quite an astonishing amount. And could this be just the start of profit taking on the precious metals? Not only on silver, I will consider looking at gold also during New York session. When PPI numbers does come out, I will anticipate more profit taking in the financial markets, where we did see gold yesterday, and I have seen from the comment section whereby gold did lose more than 7% of its total value in less than 90 hours of trading. This was more than 3,900 pips to the downside. Looking at Asian session today, we are seeing sellers driving the markets to the downside. We have just broken below 5,200, which is a psychological level in the markets, and the markets could potentially break this region. That was once support, could be broken to the downside, act as a resistance in the near future for a further continuation. I would want to look at 5,000 as the next potential target if at all this profit taking does continue. Putting in mind today is Friday once again, we usually see the markets rally in one direction towards the end of the week. Now, during New York session today, we would anticipate this profit taking to continue, or we could see this could be a potential of investors driving prices further to the downside to get a much better entry to buy into gold. But currently, at the moment, as it does stands, we are looking at is the AI bubble busting. What are investors looking at in the markets right now? If I can take you back to what's happening to crypto, look at that. It is all red currently at the moment. Bitcoin is down 6.5%. Ethereum is down 7.8%. BNB is down 6.66%. Most of the cryptos currently at the moment are in the red as a result of what's happening in the markets right now. Are we seeing profit taking? What happened yesterday could be the start, and it could have a chain reaction of what could potentially happen, which is good for us as traders because this gives us ample opportunities to look for probabilities in the markets. I have it this. How can I participate in the virtual to real demo contest? You go over to the HFM platform and then join under the bonuses and promotions. You will want to join it over there. Hello, Tina. Now, looking at I have a question from Nash. The question that you are inquiring, kindly come to the classes at the Oval Building. I will show you how to set it up for you. Um, Now, quite interesting. Looking at this information at the moment, we are looking at potential of gold prices moving further to the downside, potentially to $5,000 an ounce in the near future. This could be a highly likely target considering the 200 period moving average is just about that particular region, and selling opportunities look more enticing currently at the moment. If we do break this region of support, if we do break to the bottom side and we have a retest, I will consider looking at shorting opportunities to the downside. Now, looking at oil prices yesterday did rally to the upper side. We were looking at this information during the morning market call. We are seeing prices retest onto the 50 period moving average currently at the moment as it does stand. If we have a bullish engulfing candle or a candlestick pattern that signifies that yes, indeed, buyers are in the markets, I will consider looking at more net long opportunities further to the upper side. When we switch gears to the S&P 500, once again, this is where the money was lost yesterday, where almost 3 trillion was wiped out of the markets in less than 90 hours of trading. Looking at the S&P 500, it did lose more than 1.75% of its total value, tried to recover, retested on the opening price of Thursday, but we are seeing prices well below the 200 period moving average, signaling that yes, indeed, sellers are controlling the markets right now, and we are seeing the markets rally to the downside. Now, it is currently earnings season. We are anticipating companies to continue releasing their earnings, but Microsoft could have just started the pandemic to the globalization of AI bursting. Now, looking at the information, once again, S&P 500, if you do break below 6,887, I will consider looking at selling opportunities further to the downside. Whereas if you do have a region of support forming around that particular region, I would want to wait for new information that will be released onto the markets where it could give me news where the markets could potentially head to. Now, looking at US 100, US 100, it's currently retesting on the 200 period moving average. Once again, if we do have signs of bias coming into the markets, I will consider looking at more net long opportunities. But what is happening currently at the moment is worrying, where investors are losing confidence in the AI, the demand that we are anticipating, the supply of the infrastructure. Let's say, for example, the data centers that we are looking to be raised up from these companies is not meeting demand currently at the moment, and shareholders do demand more, and we have seen Microsoft rally to the downside. I do have Nash, which about um okay, there are ways whereby you can digest that information, but once again, come over to the offices. I'll help you look at that information. Now, looking at US 30 did prove to be resilient yesterday. It didn't show fluctuations as much as the S&P 500, as much as the Nasdaq, but once again, we did see signs of sellers coming into the markets. Prices are trading well below the 50 and the 200 period moving average, signaling that yes, indeed, sellers are in the markets, and we will consider looking at more shorting opportunities towards the end end of New York session, as the data does come out into the markets, we want to look at new information that shall be released as time does move on. When we look at the dollar index, we did see the dollar index gap to the upper side during Asian session today, whereby the markets did move to the upper side, showing that yes, indeed, maybe the dollar is trying to strengthen, but considering it did close well below the highs that was formed on Wednesday and Thursday, signaling that yes, indeed, selling pressure is still to the downside, we will consider looking at more shorting opportunities on these particular assets. If I was to switch gears into the United States dollar against the Swiss franc, which currently at the moment is seen as a safe haven, I will consider looking at shorting opportunities if we do break these lows that was formed during Asian session today. But on the other hand, we do have this region of resistance currently at the moment being tested, and prices are ranging. Currently at the moment, we as traders, we would want to wait and react onto new and coming data. We want to look at what could potentially happen, what new information are we going to receive in the markets for us to consider looking at more buying or selling opportunities. Now, during New York session today, one thing is for certain, the markets are going to be really, really volatile. And as a result, we would want to position ourselves accordingly. Risk management is going to be very important. We are seeing gold prices yesterday did move 4,000 pips. This one was quite significant. And if this one, you don't practice risk management on it, it could be a really bad day for you in the markets. But once again, I will consider looking at shorting opportunities if the markets does break to the downside. That is going to conclude it for me for the morning market call. Word of the day: risk management is important. The number one goal of a trader is capital preservation. Making money does come secondary. I shall see you when you do see me next. The next session that we are going to have will be on Monday. And before then, once again, we do anticipate volatility. Risk management will be the name of the game today. That's going to be it for me. Stay safe, take care of yourselves. I shall see you when you do see me next. May the pips be with you.